Into another edition of Concacaf Nations League action as we get you set for this League C Group C match between Turks and Caicos and the British Virgin Islands in what should be a very entertaining match and an important game in the group. We'll get to that in a little bit, but have a look at the pitch. A beautiful sunny 90 degrees Fahrenheit, a slight breeze as you can see going right to left, as evidenced by the way the flags are waving, and just absolutely pristine conditions for this afternoon's kickoff. Let's get a look at the Group C, League C standings, the group table. There you see Turks and Caicos at the bottom of the group with a -5 goal differential. British Virgin Islands currently sitting in second right now, and squared up there on points with Dominica. And there you get a look at some of the previous matches, as these two teams did play back on September 9th when the British Virgin Islands scored a 3-1 win over Turks and Caicos. So Turks has had some challenges generating goals, just one goal for 6 conceded for that -5 differential. BVI having a much stronger showing so far. 1 win, 1 draw in the group. Of course, that 1-1 draw against Dominica back a few days ago on October 12th. British Virgin Islands have scored 4 goals for, just conceded twice for a +2 differential. And as we get set to kick off from the TCIFA National Academy Stadium in Providenciales in Turks and Caicos, there's a lot on the line in this match. Of course, British Virgin Islands trying to keep pace with Dominica at the top of the group, book their ticket on to the next stage of the competition, while Turks and Caicos trying to score their first points here in the CONCACAF Nations League, League C, Group C table. And this should be a really entertaining game. The teams look pretty rared up to go during the pre-match warm-ups, and I think they'll both bring a good amount of energy into this one. Should be quite an entertaining match. And even though right now British Virgin Islands is a significant favorite when you look at the betting lines, you can't write Turks and Caicos out. I mean, we saw it last night in the match that I called for the CONCACAF Nations League, which was a League B match between have it right in front of me, and that's funny that I'm forgetting so quickly. But it was a really entertaining 1-0 victory. As I've misplaced my note. How about that? Funny enough. Anyways, the two squads, it was a similar situation where one of the teams was a heavy favorite, the other a significant underdog who had yet to even score a point in the group. I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to get those two squads. I can't believe I'm actually blanking on this right now. I've called a bunch of the matches recently, and at times they sort of blend together, although last night's was a phenomenal match. Just skimming through the results. Of course, head over to concacaf.com for all the latest scores, news, updates, and more. And of course, follow along on social media as well. Yes, of course, it was the St. Martin and the St. Kitts and Nevis match where St. Martin had yet to pick up a point in the group. They score a massive 1-0 win on the road in St. Kitts, and they go from being a basement dweller in that group, and they still are at the bottom, but they've given themselves a fighting chance. And that was the whole purpose of that ramble, is that Turks and Caicos, despite not having secured a single point yet in League C, Group C action, they're not out of contention for moving on to the next stage. That said, they have to show some urgency here in this match on their home turf. They need, ultimately, 3 points would be phenomenal. They want to grab at least a draw out of this to give themselves a fighting chance moving on to the next round. But of course, all 3 points would be the ideal result here today for Turks and Caicos, who again have only scored 1 goal in 2 matches played so far, while conceding 6 against. So a lot to reflect on, a lot to work on. They haven't been in action in the CONCACAF Nations League since September 12th, so a little more than a month there of inactivity. But maybe that's the break and rest they need as we get the match officials and the two squads heading out to the pitch. So we'll throw it down to field level momentarily for national anthems, and then we'll have a look at the starting 11 for both Turks and Caicos and the British Virgin Islands. As you're tuned in to CONCACAF Nations League action, my name's Nico Cardarelli. I'll be your commentator for today's match, and we appreciate you tuning in wherever you're watching from. Let's send it down to field level as the teams will do a quick handshake. Not sure if we'll get anthems here, actually. And match officials. So we'll forgo the anthems and we'll take a look at the starting 11 for Turks and Caicos. And some of the players to key in on, of course, their captain, Billy Forbes, up front. They're going to come out in a 4-4-2 formation for this match. It'll be the duo of Burry and Forbes up front. And they turn to Seb Turbyfield in goal, Sebastian Turbyfield. And now we will get the anthems.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
All right, so there you go, the national anthems for both the British Virgin Islands and Turks and Caicos Islands. And we are moments away from the opening kickoff here as we welcome you into the TCIFA National Academy Stadium in Providential's Turks and Caicos, and you're tuned in to Concacaf Nations League action. My name is Nico Cardarelli. I'll be your commentator for today's match. We appreciate you tuning in on whatever platform you're watching on. And of course, don't forget to head over to Concacaf.com for all the latest scores, news, stats, updates, and more. And of course, like, subscribe, and follow along across CONCACAF's various social media channels as well. We get the opening coin toss here and a chance for us to look at our match officiating crew for today's game. And there you see the man in the middle, referee Harvey, with his assistants Bernard, Appleton, and the fourth official today is referee DeLuca. Should be a phenomenal match here between Turks and Caicos in the double blue and the British Virgin Islands in the yellow and green. And let's get a look at the BVI starting 11 as they'll turn to Daniel Gifford to get the starting goal. Captain Kayvon Caesar leading the way as the right back. They're playing a interesting formation, a 4-5-1 on paper, with Tyler Forbes as the lone attacker up front, but really key in on Miguel Marshall and the man with three first names, Kristen Javier Samuel, number 11. Those two players in the winged midfield positions, certainly expect to see them pushing up and providing a flanking attacking presence today for BVI. Should be a really phenomenal match. Starting goalkeeper for Turks and Caicos is Sebastian Turbyfield as we get set to bring you the opening kickoff. Turks and Caicos in the double blue working left to right across your screen. British Virgin Islands in the yellow kits with some green trim working right to left across your screen. And British Virgin Islands will get set to kick us off with Joshua Birdie over top the ball.
And the number 12 defender, Jaden Abrams. The head coach for the British Virgin Islands is Chris.
Well, referee checks his watch. We're about to get the action underway here in this League C Group C match. It's CONCACAF Nations League action with British Virgin Islands kicking us off against Turks and Caicos. British Virgin Islands send a long ball intended for Forbes to run onto, but at the top of his penalty area, Turbyfield collects that. And on the drop kick, it's played out through the half. A battle for possession ensues. And nice job that time by Chalwell to take it away for BVI, but it's quickly dispossessed off his foot, and now Williams tries to carry on the attacking side of half for Turks and Caicos, but he concedes the throw-in. So from the throw, it's played short, and now Marshall takes it. He's pressured immediately by Williams, ricochets it off the Turks and Caicos player, and another BVI throw here. Turks and Caicos trying to defend as British Virgin Islands move it up through the half. Gallimore plays that one over to William Green, who continues it out wide. There's a chip intended for the player making the run up the flank. That was KVS Kristen Javier Samuel, but it's BVI that come up with a throw-in after it was defended well. So their captain Cesar gets set to take the throw into the attacking third. He'll look to toss us into the penalty area. Good long throw, headed on, and the keeper had to be sharp as Turbyfield able to make the save and quickly pounce on the ball before any further threat could be imposed. Turbyfield's drop kick straight out of play on the other side of the half line, so it's a throw-in for British Virgin Islands. Nice pace to open up the match as Samuel gets set to take the throw. Good long toss. A couple of Turks and Caicos players there, as it's Luisi that comes up with it initially, and a player falling to turf, which gives BVI a chance to run here. Picked up by Chalwell. He tries to shield from the defender. Nice pass over to Marshall. Draws back as Gallimore Switches that one over. Green plays it even further wide. Drawn back now to Gallimore. Looks to play a ball on the switch, and he picks out Marshall. Marshall tries to sidestep a defender, working his way to the brink of the penalty area. There's a shot from distance, and it's in the back of the net. Oh, how about that? 3rd minute, and Joshua Birdie gets the opening goal for British Virgin Islands on a excellent effort from the top of the penalty area. It was a hard, low shot. Turbyfield couldn't get there. And Birdie celebrates. Let's have another look. Quick touch there on the left foot by Birdie. 2 defenders closing him down. He knew he had little time or space, but he placed it perfectly past the outstretched Turbyfield. And what a start for British Virgin Islands. Joshua Birdie gets the goal in the 2nd minute, and they take the 1-0 lead. Well, it was a seemingly innocent play, wasn't it? As Marshall was running towards the top of the penalty area. Looked like he had a clear path to continue, but picked out Birdie, who stepped into it one time. A perfect tape-to-tape pass, as they would say. And on the one-timer, he buried it. What a goal. Now, Turks and Caicos. Let's see what they can do with this set piece on the brink of the attacking third. Looking to cross something into the penalty area. They put 6 players in and around the 18. Make it 7 if you count Birdie there. So they're looking to equalize with this crossing opportunity from the impending set piece. Ball played in on the cross. Good quality ball. Headed away by the defender. Only a half clearance. Now Birdie touches it on further, and Turks and Caicos will retrieve it from inside their own half. In fact, they actually concede a throw into the British Virgin Islands on that poor back pass, which Howell wasn't quite able to get to before the ball ran out of play. So well defended by VGB, as the British Virgin Islands hold a 1-0 lead here early in this match. Gallimore tried to pick out Green. That's intercepted, and now Turks and Caicos looking to turn in transition here. But that one picked off the foot of Magny, and a long ball for a player to run onto. Keeper out of his penalty area. This could be 2, and it is. Nope, the offside flag goes up. So Tyler Forbes, all that effort to beat the keeper Turbyfield, who came way out of his penalty area. Maybe a little bit of a late flag. Probably could have brought it up after he beat the keeper to the ball, but in the end, the match remaining a 1-0 scoreline for the time being. But there you see the threat that British Virgin Islands impose with those quick counterattack strikes. And the ability, like a player in the ilk of Forbes, to run onto that and make a gutsy play. Here we get a foul called and a free kick to come for Turks and Caicos, as brought down was Junior Paul. He's favoring his left leg a little bit there. Let's get another look at this foul, as 2 defenders converge on him, and it's the captain Caesar that gets whistled for the foul, much to his dismay. And good to see that Junior Paul for Turks and Caicos able to continue on here. Once again, TNC will send a number of players in towards the penalty area to try get reception on the impending cross. Looks like 8 players in and around the penalty area, so they really want to press here for an equalizer after conceding early. Cross comes in. Once again, the defender gets ahead to it. It's picked up this time, however, by Delva, who tries to make a play. In the end, nothing doing. Billy Forbes for Turks and Caicos did well to wrestle possession back as they play it all the way back to the keeper Turbyfield. Howell plays it out wide as they work their way onto the attacking side of half. Long ball attempted, but that was blocked down, and now it's controlled by Birdie. He lays that off to a teammate, and in turn they go back to Wiltshire, who did well with the player closing down on him. Nice job by Turks and Caicos to get possession back, and they start to work towards the attacking third, but just as quickly British Virgin Islands take it. Gallimore draws it away from the incoming tackler and plays it back for Abrams. Touched out wide, controlled now by Marshall. He chips it up, and that's a run for Birdie to make as he steps into the penalty area, tries to draw the crossover. Nowhere near Forbes, and defended well there by Turks and Caicos as Turbyfield plays it out, and now it's controlled by Magny. I believe that was Corey Williams who made the block on the cross. As Cadet takes it. May have been Cadet. Both of them were in the vicinity. Played over now to Delva. As Turks and Caicos try to play a long ball up the line and successfully picking out Billy Forbes, who starts to turn on the rocket jets, and his cross, however, defended well, and now British Virgin Islands looking for a quick counterattack possibility. That ball by Chalwell, played ahead, intended for Forbes. He's all over the back of the defender, and that's a foul as he takes Cadet down. And Cadet does well to earn the free kick for Turks and Caicos. Joshua Birdie in the 3rd minute. Right now the difference maker in this match as we're into the 10th minute of action. Birdie, there you see him, number 10 in yellow, stepping up for the one-timer. And he buried it low, hard, put it perfectly in the corner. On the replay, you really get a sense there wasn't much Turbyfield could do as the keeper. As we get an equipment issue here with Carl Shan Jr. III. And he's got a toss. Well, I believe it was actually the captain's armband that Billy Forbes lost on his run. That or a piece of tension equipment, potentially something to help tighten something up. Anyways, play continuing on here after the scraps picked off the field. And Turks and Caicos working the ball up here for a throw-in. They keep it short from the throw. Louisi. That ball, however, turned over, and Caesar there to make the play defensively for British Virgin Islands. Well, we mentioned pre-match that you got to look for the likes of Samuel and Marshall to provide that winged offensive pressure for British Virgin Islands. There you get a look at KJS, Kristen Javier Samuel, but it was Miguel Marshall setting up the goal scored by Joshua Birdie on a tremendous individual effort. He made a great move around the initial tackler, and then instead of taking it in himself, had great vision to pick out Birdie, put it on a tee, and the one-timer buried low and hard. Ricky Hill, your head coach for the Turks and Caicos, Chris Kimoya leading the British Virgin Islands. As Turks and Caicos trying to press forward, but that time Forbes had the ball knocked away from him before he could gain possession. And now it's controlled by Chalwell. Tried to pick out Williams, the pass off the mark, but, Marshall, as Marshall does well to get it back. And then a hard tackle sees the ball go off a Turks defender out for a British Virgin Islands throw. Forbes had to be careful with that darting challenge by Cadet. Miguel Marshall tosses in. Controlled by Abrams, right back to Marshall. He picks out Abrams again with pressure on his back. Abrams looks to switch it over to the far flank. Nice job to hold control here by British Virgin Islands as racing into the area is Samuel. He tries to cross it, but in the end, it's out for a goal kick. But again, that's that wing pressure that British Virgin Islands are going to continue to press with and create opportunities, as here you get a look at Christian Javier Samuel carrying the ball in thought he had won himself a corner kick, but play restarts with the goal kick. From the goal kick, Turbyfield playing it out. Samuel gets it back for British Virgin Islands as they battle for it. Caesar with the initial play, and now Turks and Caicos from the throw trying to exploit him being out of position. Billy Forbes gains possession, trying to square up against Caesar, tries to knock it off of him for a corner, but in the end, out for a throw after the slide tackle. And now our match official has spotted a player down for the British Virgin Islands. And I believe that's Jerry Wiltshire. It is the center back, the right center back, who is experiencing a bit of an issue, and hopefully nothing serious there for Wiltshire. Again, just beautiful conditions for this match in Providential's Turks and Caicos. 90 degrees Fahrenheit at kickoff. It is a warm one, much warmer than where I'm coming from. I'm broadcasting remotely in Toronto. Would much rather trade our weather for the weather there. It's a blustery, rainy, cold day here. Looks like paradise over there. Turks and Caicos playing on their home pitch here at the TCIFA National Academy Stadium. And nice to see that Wiltshire able to get up on his own power. And he looks like he'll be fine to continue. He'll head off the pitch for the time being, but we'd anticipate he gets brought back into the match momentarily. And we'll restart with a throw-in here for Turks and Caicos. They take it, and it's Louisi who receives possession, tries to draw it back. Hard tackle, and out for another Turks throw. Forbes tries to hook that one with the volley, but ultimately it just goes across the goal line, out for a goal kick. That was Junior Paul there who stepped up, and Turks and Caicos, after conceding in just the 3rd minute, they've shown some good spirit trying to push back. Just haven't quite found the connection they've needed to finish something off. That time the pass broken up by a backpedaling Tyler Forbes. He did well to step in the way of that one, even though Delva was sliding for it. And now quickly it's brought back on the turnover by Williams. Centers that one. Coming off the line is the keeper, Guilford, but the flag goes up. And in the end, nothing doing there for Turks and Caicos. They thought they had something, as both Burry and Forbes there to try and make a play on it. Actually, check that. That was Carl Shan Jr., who was the other attacker up there for Turks and Caicos. But in the end, Daniel Guilford didn't have to worry about it. He gets bailed out by the flag, and now he plays it out from the free kick. Ball bantied up in the air, an aerial challenge there, and it's going to be the Turks and Caicos that come away with it. As Junior Paul made the initial play, and now it's controlled with a little pressure, but nice job to get the switch here as it's picked up by Delva. He looks for a man up the line, has Williams, but he's closed down immediately, out for a Turks and Caicos throw. Rovins Delva looking for movement off the ball. Opts to go back to a teammate in the form of Cadet. Switching that one over as Howell plays it out wide. Looking for a man up the line. That's broken up, and British Virgin Islands have it with their captain, Caesar. Quick touches here as Gallimore goes back to Caesar. His left-footed ball high in the air, appeals for a push on the back. Nothing doing as the goal scorer, Birdie, takes possession. It's, however, wrestled away from him. Nice sliding tackle by Samuel. And then he tries to knock it off the Turks player, but it's out for a Turks and Caicos throw-in. They take it quickly, flicked on by the header from Carl Shan Jr., but nobody there. And it's out for a throw. Excuse me, a goal kick.
Inside him. That's right there. That's right.
Guilford gets set to take the goal kick.
That's right. Right there. Remember, you're free.
As you're tuned into League C, Group C action, it's Concacaf Nations League. And it's Turks and Caicos trailing 1-0 to British Virgin Islands. But here goes Billy Forbes for Turks and Caicos. Trying to take on two defenders. He had a fancy step over move, and in the end, he wins a corner kick for his team. Tried the rotunda as he took on both defenders. A fearless effort. Raymond Burry gets set to take the corner kick here for Turks and Caicos, setting up for an in-swinger. As British Virgin Islands get a couple of players off the bench starting to warm up, a little early for changes. The corner comes in, it's a low cross that wasn't of the best quality, and it's defended well. And now here goes Tyler Forbes. He's looking to go coast to coast. He has to pull back though. A lot of contact on the back of his leg, but he fights through it, securing the advantage and playing it over to Gallimore. That ball touched forward for Green. He's closed down, but quickly gets it back. Looks to play across into the penalty area. Defender gets a half clearance, and now it's secured there by Junior Paul. Howell. Magny. Delva. Looking up the pitch for an option. Doesn't want to force it, so he keeps it close. Nice switch over to the far flank, top of the screen, and we'll see what Turks and Caicos can try open up. Ultimately, nothing doing there. So they'll reset as Louisi checks his options and plays that one back. Controlled now by Delva. Good ball up the wing, but no one there in blue. It ends up ricocheting to Carl Shan Jr. as Billy Forbes tries to play that one over, and off his line to collect comes Daniel Guilford. And the player who got the block on the initial attempt by Forbes has taken an knee, and that's to Sharn Gallimore, excuse me. But good to see that Gallimore looks like he'll be fine to continue. And players will take the opportunity to get some hydration. Again, it's a warm 90 degrees Fahrenheit at the time of kickoff. That's Jerry Wiltshire, who was injured a little bit earlier, and he's favoring something there. Here we get a look at the cross intended, as that one went right into the grill of Gallimore. And I don't wonder if we're going to have a substitution here for the British Virgin Islands with Wiltshire coming out of this game. Well, you never like to see a player leave due to injury, and we certainly hope it's nothing serious for Wiltshire, and we will indeed get a substitution here in the 22nd minute as Philip Nelson comes in to take the place of Wiltshire. So again, we hope nothing but a speedy recovery there for Wiltshire. And hopefully that doesn't keep him out of any further action, whatever ailment he is dealing with. But Philip Nelson into the match, and now British Virgin Islands trying to press onto the attacking side of half with William Green in pursuit, but it's a throw-in. Bit of confusion there as to what the call was, and ultimately it tracked out. Well, give Turks and Caicos full credit. They tried to play it as a free kick. Oh, it is a free kick. All right. Not sure why they made him retake that, but in the end, play continues here, and it's Turbyfield who plays it out. Magna went over to Delvey. Check that. Cadet to Delvey. Back to Cadet as now he plays a long ball up the pitch, flicked on by the header of Forbes. but Guilford was aggressive in his approach, and he was there to snatch it up quickly. Good goalkeeping by Guilford as his kick well across the half line. Controlled by Birdie only for a moment as Luisi got in there and won it back for Turks and Caicos. Once again, they press forward with a long ball headed away by the defender in Nelson. And ultimately out along the touchline, Caesar unable to keep it in play. So we'll get a Turks and Caicos throw in just in front of the Qatar Airways banner board. And just on the brink of the attacking third, as you're tuned in to the Concacaf Nations League presented by Qatar Airways. And it's League C, Group C action as we get a foul committed by Turks and Caicos' Carl Shan Jr. He doesn't like the call, but ultimately forcing the man to the turf, and now Caesar will take the free kick. British Virgin Islands looking to keep possession here, as not looking to force, but maybe open something up, and being patient and methodical as they drew Shan Jr. and Forbes towards them, but ultimately nothing doing as it's out for a Turks and Caicos throw. Taking quickly, Luisi in through the middle. Looks to switch that, a bit of a heavy ball, and nice effort by Delva to keep it in, and an even better effort to knock it away from the oncoming Chalwell, who, if Luca Chalwell had gotten there, he might have been in all alone from the half line. Excellent play by Wildens Delva, who will get set to take the throw. Delva tosses in. Cadet switches that one over as Howell plays it out wide. Off the British Virgin Island player. Smart move there by Magny as he wins his team a throw-in. Opts to go back to Howell. Cadet, as he walks onto the attacking side of the half line, draws over for Delva. Looking to find a runner in stride. Good ball flicked up by Shan Jr., but unable to do anything with it subsequently. And now here goes, oh, the speedy Tyler Forbes. Look at him go in all alone on the breakaway around the keeper. Oh no, yes, what a save. Turbyfield got just enough. I thought Forbes had beaten the keeper, but on the second ditch effort, Sebastian Turbyfield able to knock it away. But how about that speed of Tyler Forbes? He picked up the ball on his own side of half, beat two defenders, and within a second or two, in on goal all alone with the keeper. Here go Turks and Caicos. Oh, that's a contact, and that's a penalty kick. No doubt about it. Guilford takes the man down, and look at the jubilation on the face of Junior Paul, as he knows he has given his team a chance to equalize, putting his body on the line. Let's get another look. A great ball played forward by Billy Forbes. Junior Paul runs onto it. No attempt by Guilford to play the ball. He clearly takes the man out. Guilford lucky to escape without a card here, as referee Harvey calls a penalty kick in the 27th minute. Billy Forbes will step up to the spot for Turks and Caicos. Daniel Guilford protects the goal for the British Virgin Islands. Forbes played that ball into the penalty area for Paul to run onto, which drew the penalty. Forbes at the spot. Steps into it, and he buries it. Billy Forbes has tied this match from the penalty spot in the 27th minute. And Turks and Caicos are on the board as the home fans celebrate a well-earned goal. Let's get another look at that converted penalty kick, taken confidently and cool as he sent Guilford in the wrong direction. Well struck, well placed. Well done, Billy Forbes, as that goal equalizes this match. It's a 1-1 game.
Forbes in the 27th minute.
So in the 27th minute, Forbes gets the goal. And we're all square. And how about that? The shift of momentum. It went from Tyler Forbes, who currently carries the ball, playing it forward. Off his line comes Turbyfield, and cleared off the goal line by the defender in Magny. Wow, what a swing of momentum in the last few minutes. British Virgin Islands nearly went up 2-0 on a breakaway chance for Tyler Forbes. Seconds later, a penalty kick. How about the courageous goalkeeping there from Sebastian Turbyfield and the presence of mind from Herbie Magny to continue to track the ball, because it was going into the open net had he not been there to volley it away. Spectacular end-to-end action here. British Virgin Islands, long throw-in from Caesar. Headed away by a defender. Volley attempt by Green, and that one lacked precision, to say the least, as it's out for a goal kick. A hopeful hit, but nothing doing. 29th minute of action. The underdog home squad in Turks and Caicos have shown a lot of gusto and a lot of grit since conceding in the 3rd minute. And now they've found themselves on level ground after that penalty kick converted by Billy Forbes. From the throw-in, they work the ball over to Delva. He steps up, chips it into the penalty area, but Guilford off his line to collect that. Well, Guilford really hadn't been tested prior to that penalty kick, so a tough spot for the keeper, who nearly gives it away after bowling it out, and now Turks and Caicos do have it. Billy Forbes, he tries to chip it, finds a teammate there in Junior Paul, but his shot attempt gets blocked. Paul's still on it. He plays it, he tried to power that one towards the back post top corner, and ultimately out for a goal kick. And I think we're going to get a hydration break here. Yes, we'll get the cooling break for the players, as here in the 30th minute of action, we find ourselves in a tremendously entertaining League C Group C match, as you're tuned into Concacaf Nations League action. And that man right there, Billy Forbes, has got the equalizer, converting from the penalty spot just minutes ago for Turks and Caicos. British Virgin Islands have got to be relatively pleased with their performance to this point. I'm sure they don't love that they conceded the penalty and gave up the equalizer, but British Virgin Islands have certainly looked the more threatening squad throughout this match. And Tyler Forbes, man, he's going to look back on that breakaway opportunity and think, if I only put that in, what a different game this might have been. We would have been up 2-0. It was literally seconds later where, after Forbes missed that breakaway, Turks and Caicos were able to counter, and a long ball played by Billy Forbes into the penalty area saw his teammate Junior Paul get taken out by the keeper, Daniel Guilford. And Billy Forbes stepped to the spot, converting for the home squad. Well, right now this match could go either way. Turks and Caicos now with some newfound confidence and momentum after equalizing on that penalty kick. And there you see Billy Forbes, the man who stepped up to the spot and converted for the home squad. So we'll restart play here after the cooling break, as it's controlled by Miguel Marshall for British Virgin Islands. Plays the ball ahead, where Tyler Forbes tries to get around a defender. Delva wanted a foul call, nothing doing. Here's the speed of Forbes on display again, but what a great slide tackle, as I think that was Luisi who came in, either that or Magny, as there's a low cross and well dealt with by the defender in Howell to see it clear. It was Luisi that came over to make the initial tackle on Forbes. And then you saw Howell, the close-up of him after blocking it out for the corner. Delva still protesting to the referee that he wanted the foul called against Tyler Forbes, where they squared up against each other. And we'll get the corner kick here to be taken by Tyler Forbes as he sets up for the in-swinger. Some contact in front of the keeper and then a big scrum at the top of the 18 as well. As the intensity level starting to heat up, a little bit of tete-a-tete, a little push and shove, and now the referee's going to issue a warning here as referee Harvey has had enough. Tyler Forbes gets set to deliver the corner. Nice in-swinger corner and headed away as it tracked towards the near post. But British Virgin Islands keep possession only for a moment as William Green lost it to the touchline, and it's out for a Turks and Caicos throw-in. Controlled by Turks from the throw as they work it over to the far flank top of the screen, and now Howell, checking his options, wants to play it for the runner as tracking towards it was Williams, but it was defended well, and then away from the ball, a senseless caution here picked up by Luca Chalwell. And Chalwell may be lucky it's just a caution because the player he went after was nowhere near the ball. Let's get another look here. Well, Chalwell, yeah, I mean, the caution seems about right there. Would have been harsh if it were anything more. Caldwell throwing the hip check, just leaving the backside out a little bit long for Forbes to run into. But really, a silly foul to commit on the brink of the attacking third here, and a chance now for Turks and Caicos once again to generate something from a set piece here in the 35th minute. Right now, 5 Turks and Caicos attackers lining up along the top of the penalty area. As Raymond Burry gets set to take the free kick. Movement as Burry plays a cross towards the back post, but Williams unable to get a head onto it. Magny, his ball, that was blocked out fearlessly by Samuel and out for a throw-in.
To the number 8, Lucas Shalwell of the British Virgin Islands in the 34th.
So Shalwell gets the caution. And maybe a little bit of frustration starting to set in for British Virgin Islands as that ball from Cadet intended for Delva, too heavy and out for a throw. British Virgin Islands trying to take advantage of that mistake. Ball played over to Shalwell. He tries to get around Delva. Does so successfully. Takes it into the penalty area where Cadet there. And he knocks it out for the corner kick. So well defended by Cadet for the for Turks and Caicos, excuse me. As Makinson Cadet really controlling that back line, and there you see him getting into the fray, defending this corner. Forbes setting up for the in-swinger. Again, a lot of contact at the top of the 18. Forbes delivers a good cross. Picks out a teammate on the volley. What a save! Turbyfield stands his ground. Kevon Caesar maybe feeling a little snake bit and thinking he should have done better to finish it after the ball was headed back to along with the volley of really ensuring he put that in. He just kind of half hit it and it went right to the keeper, Turbyfield. Caesar knows he should have done better. He had the whole near side of the net open, and instead he put it right into the hands of the keeper. And it's been those kind of missed opportunities after the British Virgin Islands opened the scoring in the 3rd minute. They've had a handful of glorious opportunities, including that last one from Caesar, that they just haven't converted on. I think of that breakaway chance for Tyler Forbes, that most recent effort for Caesar. You would have expected both of those to be goals, and in the end, we're still deadlocked 1-1. 38th minute of action approaching the halftime break as nice possession here. Carrying it up the wing is Paul. Check that. That's actually Magny who steps up from the back line to make the play, and in the end gives possession away as Paul had retreated to back him up, so no one was ahead deep in the corner there. However, Turks and Caicos quickly get it back. Nice little 1-2 as Paul gets closed down, and that'll go out for a Turks throw. Burry has dropped back into more of a midfield position, and now he checks towards the throw. Burry takes possession here. Nice switch chip to pick out Billy Forbes. Forbes playing it in, headed on, and ultimately looking like it'll be a goal kick, and indeed that is the call, as going up for it was Shan Jr., and ultimately unable to put that one on target. Controlled now by Philip Nelson. He plays that one out wide off a Turks player in the goal scorer Forbes, and out for a British Virgin Islands throw. Nice possession, good ball. This is going to be for Tyler Forbes to run onto into the penalty area. Great goalkeeping. Sebastian Turbyfield is starting to put on a goalkeeping clinic here, as that's the second one-on-one chance that Forbes has had against the keeper, and Turbyfield has denied him on both times. A breakaway literally from the half line. That one, just the keeper to beat from inside the 18, and once again Forbes gets stood up by the strong goalkeeping of Sebastian Turbyfield. 40th minute, Turks and Caicos looking to generate something after their keeper comes up with another big save. Billy Forbes, closed down by Marshall, switches that one over to Raymond Burry. Burry goes back to Forbes, touches out wide before quickly returning it to Burry. Junior Paul does well to spin off the defender before falling to turf, looking for a whistle, nothing doing, and Junior Paul is incensed after he got stomped on a little bit there. A little bit of sensationalism, but certainly he felt the feet in and around him as he laid on the turf, and a caution is going to come out. I believe this is going to William Green, the player who got the most contact, and yes, Green does receive the card. Let's get another look here as Junior Paul kind of tripped over the ball himself, tried to get up, but Green mounting him, and there you can see the left foot coming in. Green lucky it's just a caution. And referee Harvey's going to have some paperwork after this match, as he's issued, I believe, 3 cautions now. And he's going to have to try keep things in order here, as it's getting chippy. You can see as players lining up at the top of the 18 to receive the cross here. Lots of pushing and shoving. Certainly no love lost here between these two rival nations. As the referee will once again have a word.
And gentlemen,
Junior Paul,
to the number 7, William Green, of
the player who is
in the
receiving the warning here. Turks and Caicos putting 5-6 players in and around the top of the 18. Big push there by Philip Nelson, as he's there against his numerical counterpart in Carl Shan Jr. And that might draw the ire of our match official once again. He keeps an eye on the two. But we'll restart here with the set piece. Left-footed cross, headed away. Half clearance as Billy Forbes takes a wild effort, and that one high and wide and into the tree line outside the stadium. So we'll restart with a goal kick. And it'll be Nelson to take the goal kick. Headed on by Tyler Forbes, but no one there for British Virgin Islands as Cadet tracks back to take it for Turks and Caicos. 43rd minute of action approaching the halftime whistle as that one plucked out of the air by Nelson. Gallimore playing it back as Caesar looks to play it ahead now, and nice little touch as Forbes goes to turf. Actually, check that. That's Birdie, who's got the goal for British Virgin Islands. That came back in the 3rd minute. That time he draws a foul. Abrams laying that one over to Shawwell. Gallimore, touch out wide, but a little inaccurate, and Green unable to keep it in play. A reminder to head over to Concacaf.com for all the latest scores, updates, stats, news, videos, photos, and more. And of course, like, subscribe, and follow across the Concacaf social media channels. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I'm your commentator for tonight's match. Thank you for tuning in wherever you happen to be watching from and whatever platform you're viewing on. As Turks and Caicos battling in a spirited match here between themselves and the British Virgin Islands. It's a 1-1 draw as we're into the 44th minute. However, turnover, and now Birdie tries to send British Virgin Islands onto the attacking side of half. Ball played out wide, controlled by Green. He's getting closed down, so he starts to march forward with it. Green taking it towards the goal line with the defender on his back, and ultimately it's out for a goal kick. Well played there by Junior Paul, who's pretty furious with one of his own teammates, but Paul was in hot pursuit, and he did well to not commit a foul against Green while also not conceding a corner. So Sebastian Turbyfield, who after conceding in the 3rd minute has looked pretty much invincible. He has made a few spectacular saves, including 2 breakaway saves on Tyler Forbes, and then a fortuitous goal line save where Kevon Caesar, who had most of an open net to aim for, put it right in the hands of Turbyfield. But now here go Turks and Caicos on the attack. That ball attempt off a defender, and that'll go out for a corner kick. And we'll have 2 additional minutes to play here in the first half, so a minimum of 2 added minutes. And it'll be Raymond Burry tracking over to take the corner kick for Turks and Caicos. Burry setting up with an outswinger as he prepares to deliver a cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th official on the sideline has indicated
Burry checks his options, lots of targets within the penalty area as he delivers a good quality cross hooking out to the top of the 18, headed away by Samuel. As the long attempt from Magny, that one blocked out. Nice job by Delva to get ahead to it, but then he commits a foul on the back of Forbes, and that's going to draw a caution as Wildens Delva goes into the referee's notebook here in the 46th minute for that challenge on the back of Tyler Forbes. There you get another look at it, and Delva just trying to be aggressive after giving up possession, but needed to contain himself a little more. Good to see Forbes able to continue on. Nelson ready to restart the action here. He's going to deliver a long ball flicked on initially by Chalwell. He tries to get it back, and now he does so, taking on a trio of defenders before he gets hammered down to the ground. Loose ball picked up once again as Birdie had it, only to have it stripped off his foot. Played back to the keeper in Turbyfield. As a couple of players taking knocks there, including Raymond Burry for Turks and Caicos, who really seem to be laboring a little bit. Junior Paul pushes that one back as Magny takes it.
Yellow card issued to the number 18,
Williams.
Delva.
And that'll do it for the first half of action. So a really spirited contest, and through the opening 45, it's the home squad, Turks and Caicos, 1, courtesy of a penalty kick conversion from that man, Billy Forbes. and the British Virgin Islands won. What a great opening 45 minutes of play. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to have some first half highlights and stats coming up as you're tuned in to Concacaf Nations League action. It's League C, Group C action in this important matchup between Turks and Caicos and British Virgin Islands. We'll be back with more Concacaf Nations League action presented by Qatar Air.
Let's go, boys. I'm not fucking losing this game, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the halftime score is Turks and Caicos Islands 1, British Virgin Islands 1. Qatar Airways is proud to be the official airline partner of the Concacaf Nations League. Fly to over 160 destinations worldwide with one of the world's best airlines and enjoy a seamless
Man in. Man in. Man in.
Hello guys, they send like no you before. Hurry up. Hey, Drew. Hey, yeah, Malik, vamos. Go, 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 go. Whoa! There's someone behind him.
Scott is in front of me. Scott,
Scott, you throw me. Go. You no, you know why you're following me. Go with him. Forward. Let's go. Need to go. Good job, guys.
Come on, boys, let's be first.
Warm up again, gentlemen. Warm up again. Hey, loosen up. Billy. Billy. Loosen up again. Loosen up. Chris, let's go warm up.
All right, soccer fans, let's get you set for the second half kickoff as we bring you back inside the TCIFA National Academy Stadium in Providencial's Turks and Caicos, third largest city in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and a beautiful setting for today's match. And there's been a lot for the home crowd to cheer on as well, as we're going to get at least one substitution here to start the second half for the British Virgin Islands, as I believe it's William Green that's been taken out. And Jake Forbes will come in place. So we'll see if that pays dividends for British Virgin Islands, who probably feel a little hard done by after that first half, where they generated some A-plus goal scoring opportunities, but in the end, after 45 minutes, had to settle for a 1-1 scoreline. So British Virgin Islands will be working left to right across your screen. Turks and Caicos going right to left in the double blue, getting set to kick us off here with Carl Shan Jr. on the ball as you're tuned in to Concacaf Nations League action. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I'm your commentator. And in this League C Group C match, we kick off the second half with a 1-1 scoreline, and Turks and Caicos looking to start things off here, as we do get confirmation of the substitution with William Green coming out and Jake Forbes going in. That's the lone change to report at the half, as it's picked up now by Paul Jr., who was the player fouled in the box that drew the penalty call that ultimately served as the equalizer. Nice defending there by Kevon Caesar as he knocked that out, conceding the throw. Paul, under pressure, loses it. Nice work by the newly brought on Jake Forbes to win possession, but now it's controlled by Delva. They'll go back to Cadet, who's under pressure here from Tyler Forbes. And Tyler Forbes ends up committing a foul, and that bails Cadet out of a sticky situation. Tyler Forbes not loving that call. And we'll get a free kick just on their own side of half for Turks and Caicos. Cadet keeps it short, and that allows pressure to come in from Jake Forbes. Turnover, and here goes Tyler Forbes. Makes the touch over to Jake Forbes. Jake Forbes streaking into the penalty area, tries to draw with the defender closing him down, and in the end, Forbes unable to control it. It's out for a goal kick. taken quickly by Turbyfield, as he picked out the teammate there in Magny. The long ball ahead for Billy Forbes to run onto, but the British Virgin Islands keeper Daniel Guilford there to secure it before it crossed the line. So Guilford will get set to play this one out. As his kick goes high in the air, but not a lot of distance on it. Never cleared the half. And now Raymond Burry tries to get it back. A foul committed on the back of Louisi. And Christopher Louisi draws the free kick for Turks and Caicos, who again came into this match as a significant underdog on the betting line, but they have battled really well here. And they have put themselves in a position to potentially pick up their first points in the group. As Cadet stands over top the ball for the free kick, plays it short and wide for Howell. In turn, touches further. They quickly get it back over to Burry, as it was played through Magny. Now back controlled by Howell. Touch into the middle. Cadet chips that one forward, but it's headed away. Nice job defensively by Marshall as he knocks that out for the throw. So Delva gets set to take the throw, as it looks like they're cooking something tasty over there. They got the grill out. You know, it's a good time down at pitch side when you got the barbecue going. High ball, it's bouncing towards the touchline, held in there by Jake Forbes, and ultimately out for a Turks and Caicos throw-in. Well, there you see Jake Forbes. He certainly brought some energy since coming on at the half. It's only been a few minutes, but he's been aggressive, and he's looking to make a positive impact here for British Virgin Islands. That ball off the player in Birdie, who got that goal back in the 3rd minute, but hasn't been able to find the same impact since. Free kick now for British Virgin Islands after the defender was fouled. As that's Samuel who takes the free kick. Good right-footed ball up the pitch. Defender's got to make a play here as Cadet has Forbes all over him. Jake Forbes giving Cadet a hard time. Makes the pass as... Oh, it goes off the back of Delva. He wasn't expecting that, and heads up play by, I think that was Howell, who just kind of cleared the pressure. Jake Forbes checking his options as he dribbles the ball into the middle. Now lays it off for Gallimore. Nice touch over to Samuel. He chips it forward. Battle for possession. Birdie tries to wrestle it away, but Louisi stepping into him, and I think Louisi's committed a foul there. Actually, check that. They're going to say it was Birdie who committed the foul. And we'll get a free kick for Turks and Caicos. Makinson Cadet keeps it short for Kristen Howell. Herbie Magny, who had that great goal line clearance in the first half, ensuring that the match remained 1-1. His pass for Junior Paul, a little off the mark, and now Samuel played his long ball up. It was quickly bounced back and now controlled by Williams. He lays it over as Burry under pressure, and good to see him competing after taking a bit of a knock in the first half. Howell over to Cadet. He switches that one out wide. 52nd minute of action. Turks and Caicos methodical in their possession and patient in their approach, but that long ball a little too heavy for Carl Shan Jr. to make a play on. He tried to pick it out of the air, outstretching his leg, but in the end it rolls out for a goal kick. Well, Philip Nelson has taken over goal kick duties from Daniel Guilford. I wonder if Guilford maybe experiencing a little discomfort or a bit of a knock. He seemed to be struggling with his drop kicks, and he was taking the goal kicks initially, but now he's deferring them to Nelson. As Turks and Caicos take possession here. Nice job to find Magny. He looks for a player up the wing, but that ball out of the range of Paul. No chance to make a play, and it's out for a throw-in for British Virgin Islands. Kristen Javier Samuel. KJS looks to take the throw, finds a player up the line, and Tyler Forbes appeals for a foul call, but there you can see the head coach from the British Virgin Islands, Chris Kamoya, trying to urge his squad on. Turks and Caicos take possession here with Louisi on the ball. He'll go back to his keeper, Turbyfield, who's had a tremendous match despite conceding in the third. Cadet. Quick touch by Howell to pick out Magny. Magny looking to send a ball into the penalty area, running onto it. And the keeper a little slow to come off his line as Carl Shan Jr. was tracking towards it, but Guilford ultimately able to scoop it up. Nice challenge on that attempt from Junior Paul as he stopped the progression of Samuel, knocking it out for the throw. Loose ball through the middle, controlled by Williams, touches forward. Shan Jr., he tries to chip that one ahead for Billy Forbes. Headed around and now brought down by Burry. Burry under pressure from two opposing players, and it's Gallimore that comes away with it for British Virgin Islands. But Burry gets it right back. However, he plays it over to the fans where they let him hear it because he had nobody from his own team over there. And you can see the disappointment in the body language of Burry, knowing that, man, I must have saw something that wasn't actually there. British Virgin Islands quickly into the attacking third, drawing it back now. As appeals for throw-ins for a throw-in for both teams, and in the end it's possession to Turks and Caicos, which Marshall does not like that call. Delva. Delva opts to go back to Cadet. Playing it over to Howell. Magny out wide. They use him, who quickly goes back to Howell. Threads the needle on the touch to Paul. Magny. Cadet through the middle. He's got Delva opening up out wide. Uses the man. Delva tries to feed it up the line intended for Williams, but off a defender and out for a throw-in. So 55th minute of action. The pace slowing up just a little bit now, as Turks and Caicos continue to press and both teams look for a breakthrough mark that would push them in front. But here go Turks and Caicos. Raymond Burry taking on defenders into the penalty area. Low cross, that one blocked. A half clearance only as far as Magny. He initially thought about stepping into it, now slows it down and makes the wise play to chip it over. Oh, they try to pick out Billy Forbes with that ball. In the end, nothing doing. Bodies falling to the turf, and a foul called for that contact on Joshua Birdie. As Birdie a little slow to get up, but he seems to be fine, and we'll restart with a free kick for British Virgin Islands. Kept short as Samuel takes possession. Tyler Forbes playing that one out wide for Birdie. Tries to cut through the middle, nothing doing, and now it's controlled by Louisi. His ball, Billy Forbes trying to run onto it, but there's the keeper Guilford at the top of his penalty area to collect. I believe we got a player down outside of our camera view right now as we get the whistle. And indeed we do. It's a player from Turks and Caicos, and that's Herbie Magny, who had that tremendous goal line clearance in the first half to ensure that it remained a 1-1 scoreline at the time. So Magny will get some treatment, and we'll restart the action shortly. And a chance for us to remind you to head over to Concacaf.com for all the latest scores, stats, news, articles, updates, and more. And of course, follow along, like, and subscribe to Concacaf's various social media channels. We appreciate you tuning into the action here on whatever platform you're watching on and wherever you are watching from. As these CONCACAF Nations League games being broadcast throughout North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and of course around the world. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I'm your commentator, and we restart here with the drop ball secured by the keeper Guilford. He bowls it out for Samuel, who in turn plays that one over to Birdie. Controlled by Tyler Forbes, who lays it over to Gallimore. Switches out wide for Marshall at the top of the screen. Drops back now as Shawwell, who's one of the players cautioned in the first half, making the switch to Birdie. Birdie touches that one, and nice little touch there by Tyler Forbes, running into the penalty area, but tremendous defending as coming over to close down Forbes and winning a goal kick. How about that play from Makinson Cadet? Well, Makinson Cadet has been an anchor on the back line today for Turks and Caicos, and that might have been one of his most impactful plays, tracking all the way over to shut down the oncoming Tyler Forbes, who thought he had a clear path to the net. Turbyfield plays it out from the goal kick. Samuel heads it on. Picked up by Tyler Forbes, looking to turn and burn, but instead pulls back. Birdie. They try to get it back to Forbes. In the end, it's knocked away. Loose possession as controlled here by Gallimore. He's getting closed down. Gallimore's ball will be picked up by Caesar. Back to Gallimore. Controlled by Philip Nelson. And check that, that was Abrams. There's Abrams again trying to make the play. But the two number twos going at it in Philip Nelson and Carl Shan Jr., and it's Carl Shan Jr. that commits the foul. So Abrams takes the free kick. Loose ball through the middle collected by Turks and Caicos. There's a chip in towards the penalty areas. Carl Shan Jr. tried to get a touch to it. A lot of contact as he went to turf, nothing doing. And now advantage played for British Virgin Islands as Birdie plays a ball up the flank for Tyler Forbes to run onto. Forbes runs into the opposition as Junior Paul and Forbes going head-to-head, and Forbes gives him a two-handed shove. And you got to think Tyler Forbes is going to be cautioned for that. Indeed he is. But, it's dual cautions as Junior Paul receives a yellow as well. And Junior Paul has been stirring things up. He received a couple of verbal warnings in the first half. Funny, I was just thinking, the intensity may be trailing off a little bit. We haven't seen the chippiness that we saw in the first half. But sure enough, things getting heated there between Paul and Forbes. And in the end, they both receive a caution for their troubles. So, yellow cards doled out in the 61st minute to Junior Paul and Tyler Forbes. It looks like we're starting to get some activity on the Turks and Caicos bench as they may be looking to make a substitution. It looks like it'll be James Rennie coming into this match. But looks like he'll also have to wait till the next opportunity. As it's played from the free kick, Cadet drawing it over for Howell. Magny into the feet of Paul. He's closed down, but Howell able to hold possession for Turks and Caicos. Cadet switching that one out wide to Delva. Draws it back for Luisi. Good long ball
Ladies
as
and gentlemen, yellow card.
headed back for Carl Shan Jr. Now Paul on it into the
Tyler
penalty
Ford
area.
from the
Shot
Turks
attempt
Caicos
blocked.
in the 60th minute.
Appeals for a
Yellow
handball,
card
nothing
also
doing.
issued to the number 17 junior Paul of the Turks and Caicos
And that's
Islands
out for a
in
throw.
today's
Taken quickly
game.
as Junior Paul looking to cross one into the back post. Off the line comes Guilford to collect with safe hands.
Go, get out! Get out, Phil! Phil! Take it, get out!
Now Paul needed just a little more weight on that cross attempt. It was picked off easily by Guilford, and now he bowls it out. Throws it out for Marshall. Knocked right back, and it'll be a throw-in for British Virgin Islands as Nelson gets set to take that. And actually, he's going to leave it for his teammate in Jaden Abrams, who in turn will leave it for Miguel Marshall. The match official having a word with Delva, and he's on a caution, so he's got to watch himself. As Delva gets hammered that time and appeals from the grandstands for a yellow card on that tackle. As Tyler Forbes starting to get a little wound up. And remember, Forbes missed 2 breakaway opportunities in the first half for British Virgin Islands. Here's the Forbes from Turks and Caicos as Billy Forbes plays the cross in off the top of the netting out for a goal kick. Well, that looked threatening for a moment as Guilford wasn't quite sure he had the right line. But ultimately the cross from Billy Forbes sails out harmlessly and it goes for the goal kick. 64th minute of action as we're making our way towards the final whistle. That goal kick taken by Nelson, not a great hit. It's out for a Turks and Caicos throw. As you get a look at the Turks and Caicos head coach Ricky Hill as he tries to urge his squad on to either securing the single point or ideally finding a way to get all 3 here. Magny from the throw-in tried to pick out Carl Shan Jr. who commits the foul. And it's a free kick for British Virgin Islands as Carl Shan Jr. taking down the captain, Kevon Caesar. Free kick taken by Nelson, gets a much better foot into this one. Headed on by Tyler Forbes. Jake Forbes tries to run to it, but it's knocked out. And it'll be a throw-in for British Virgin Islands. And now we'll get that long-awaited substitution here for... Actually, check that. We've got an injured player for Turks and Caicos, as Makinson Cadet has taken to the turf here. And it looks like Cadet will need some help from the medics and training staff. Hopefully nothing serious here, as well, you can see he really stretched to make the play on the ball, really outstretched himself and pulling up just a little tight. You can see the discomfort on his face, favoring that left leg, that left hamstring, and it looks like he'll probably be okay to continue here. Cadet, a tough customer, and he's played one heck of a match today. And you certainly hope it's nothing serious there that would keep him out of action. So we'll have to head off the pitch for the time being because of receiving that treatment, but we'll keep an eye on Cadet as we do anticipate him coming back into this match. Samuel gets set to take the throw. Playing it short from the throw, Birdie touches ahead for Jake Forbes, back to Birdie as the ball squirts loose, and it'll be secured by Billy Forbes for Turks and Caicos. And now he tries to turn on the speed. As Billy Forbes driving wide, taking on defenders. That time he got around Williams, and then a Marshall, and then a big hit laid in there by Nelson as Nelson stepped right into the path of Billy Forbes without making any attempt to play the ball. And that'll be a free kick here. Yeah, clear obstruction, no doubt about it. A free kick now for Turks and Caicos from a threatening spot on the pitch. And a quality set piece opportunity to cross something in here for a header, a volley, or maybe something even more spectacular. A two-man wall sets up to defend because of the angle. You can see the proximity of the ball to the penalty area. This is going to be a quality set piece opportunity for Turks and Caicos. One player standing over top the ball. As that's Billy Forbes. Left-footed attempt right on target, and a quality save that time by Daniel Guilford. Not taking any chances as he secured that one off the free kick from Billy Forbes. Guilford from the drop kick. It's controlled now by Cadet for Turks and Caicos. Let's get another look at that free kick opportunity taken by Billy Forbes. And well tracked by the keeper, Daniel Guilford, to make that save. Switch attempt to try pick out Billy Forbes, but that one heavy and out for a British Virgin Islands throw. They take it quickly as it's controlled by Shawwell. Approaching the 70th minute of action, Shawwell. Closed down by Billy Forbes. Forbes tries to wrestle it away. And it's out for a Turks and Caicos throw-in. Chatter's starting to pick up, and as is the intensity once again. Players knowing that they've essentially got 20 minutes plus any added time remaining to find a breakthrough tally. Williams gets it right back from the foot of Magny. Hard tackle, and Junior Paul, who has been the target of a few of those throughout this match, he is down and in some significant discomfort holding his left foot. Caution on the play there to Gallimore from British Virgin Islands. And we certainly hope it's nothing serious for Junior Paul. All the legs getting tied up, and Tisharn Gallimore, there you can see it almost stepping on the ankle of Junior Paul, and you have to hope it's nothing serious. So Gallimore gets the caution here in the 70th minute. And great to see that Junior Paul able to continue on here after taking that knock. Of course, he'll have to head to the touchline and allow the match official to bring him back into play once things have restarted. But
Ladies and gentlemen, the yellow card is given to the number 6, Tisharn Gallimore of the British Virgin Islands, in the 70th minute.
so the caution in the 70th minute as we get the cooling break as well, all wrapped into one. And we'll restart here with a free kick for Turks and Caicos. Magny on the ball. Under 20 minutes of match time remaining as these two squads deadlock 1-1. You're tuned into Concacaf Nations League League C Group C action as Magny plays a cross in, and the keeper Guilford plucks it out of midair with safe hands. So Guilford gets set to play it out from the drop kick. And again, he seems to be laboring a little bit with the kicking leg as he's not quite hitting the ball the way he was early in the match. And Turks and Caicos trying to take advantage of that. But for now, British Virgin Islands turning up the pitch and trying to send a long ball ahead for Tyler Forbes, but well out of his range. As Turbyfield picks it up, he throws it out for Magny, who's closed down immediately by Birdie. Birdie strips it away. Here goes Tyler Forbes in all alone. Oh, he had time, he had space, and he made an absolute meal of it. I don't know if he was expecting the flag to go up to call him offside, but that was poorly struck by Tyler Forbes, and that's one he's going to want to have back. As for the third time in this match, it was Forbes one-on-one with the keeper, Turbyfield. He had so much time and space to get a better quality effort. That is a missed opportunity. Turbyfield playing it out from the pass back. It goes straight out of touch and out for a British Virgin Islands throw. They take it quickly. Jake Forbes tries to cut in through the penalty area. Chip to the near post, but secured by the hands of Turbyfield. As he hasn't been as busy in the second half, but he has been a big reason why Turks and Caicos have not conceded a second time in this match. As a foul called on the back of Carl Shan Jr., and it'll be a free kick for Turks and Caicos from a pretty dangerous spot on the pitch. It's almost directly dead center to goal, maybe a little bit right of center. And probably about 28, 29 yards out. So well within range for a direct shot attempt on target. A four-man wall sets up defensively to try block the incoming free kick, as it looks like Billy Forbes will step up. No, he leaves it. Shot attempt coming off the foot of Burry. Burry then gets tripped up outside the penalty area, and it'll be a free kick from an even more dangerous spot. So Turks and Caicos, after trying to show a little trickery on that last free kick, and out of the scramble, able to generate a second free kick. Here's the shot. Birdie's attempt hit a man, and then you can see Birdie take down, well, appeals for a handball there. I think that would be harsh. But Birdie, no doubt about it, tripped up by Birdie. And now a really threatening set piece opportunity. This kick coming maybe 20, 21 yards out at the most here. And right now it's just Billy Forbes over top the ball. Five-man wall sets up to defend. Billy Forbes for Turks and Caicos. Slow run up. Delivers the shot. Oh, what a goal! Struck with power and precision. And it's a brace for Billy Forbes. He celebrates with the fans in the stands as Billy Forbes has given Turks and Caicos the lead in the 76th minute on a perfectly struck free kick. Oh, what a prime display of set-piece supremacy. Let's get another look at this. Slow run-up, left-footed kick, curls it top corner, no chance for the keeper, Guilford. And it's a brace for Billy Forbes. You can't draw it up any better than that. What a goal. His first coming from the penalty spot in the first half. His second from a beautifully taken free kick. And Billy Forbes has put the home squad in front, 2-1. In the 75th minute, what a goal from Billy Forbes.
By the number 7, Billy Forbes. In the 76th.
Now we're going to get a substitution for British Virgin Islands. In fact, we're going to get a double substitution. As Birdie comes out, as does Samuel. And coming in to replace are Lacey and Smith. Turks and Caicos are going to get a substitution in here as well, as the injury to Magny too much to overcome, so he comes out of the match, and Rennie, who they had thought about bringing in earlier, now brought into this match. So for the first time in this game, Turks and Caicos in front, now 2-1, but there's a shot right back as Tyler Forbes tried to draw even. Not a ton of substance on that shot, and an easy save for Turbyfield. Wow, what a free kick. An absolute stunner struck by Billy Forbes to put them up. British Virgin Islands now showing some urgency. Marshall steps around the jumping defender. Miguel Marshall still with the ball at his feet. Crosses that one in, but it's knocked away. Well defended that time. I believe it was Cadet who got there. As we're approaching the final 10 minutes of match play. You look back on some of the missed opportunities British Virgin Islands have had throughout this match. Tyler Forbes, 3 separate opportunities where he was one-on-one with the keeper. He didn't finish off any of them. Nice side tackle there by Rennie. And of course that chance in the first half for Kevon Caesar, the captain, where it looked like he had an easy tap in, but put it straight into the hands of the keeper, Turbyfield. Cross. Is trying to bring it down there was Shawwell. They do hold possession. Shawwell now controlling it for British Virgin Islands. Plays that over to Jake Forbes. His shot attempt blocked. And a nice job defensively by Turks and Caicos to get the clearance to the half line. Knocked down by the header of Smith. Played forward. Cadet unable to control it there as Lacey came up to take it. Smith battling against Junior Paul. Nice job by Paul to strip it away. And he makes the pass ahead. However, turned over, and now Tyler Forbes trying to turn and burn, but that's out for a Turks and Caicos throw-in. So Turks and Caicos trying to slow things down here, while British Virgin Islands realizing that time now an enemy, as they trail 2-1 with essentially 10 minutes of match time remaining plus any added time. James Rennie gets set to take the throw. Knocked up the line. Teams battling for possession as Burry goes in with the header. British Virgin Islands trying to control it there with Lacey on the ball. It's turned over as Billy Forbes can't hold it initially. No call there as Burry tried to sell it, and now here goes Lacey making the pass for British Virgin Islands. Good job to pick out the runner, but off his line confidently the keeper Turbyfield collects that one before any threat could come to fruition for Jake Forbes.
Number 10, Joshua Bertie out.
Turbyfield with a strong drop kick, and now Billy Forbes is going to be able to pick this up in the penalty area. Takes the shot attempt out for a corner kick as he was defended closely. What? That would have been something real special if Forbes could have finished it off for the hat trick. We're going to get a substitution here, however, for Turks and Caicos, as Corey Williams will be heading out of the match. There you get a look at Williams. He had a strong effort today. Haven't quite seen the player coming in. That's Emmanuel Martin, number 10, who comes in as the substitute. So Turks and Caicos will restart play here with the corner kick. Raymond Burry setting up for the in-swinger. Delivers a good left-footed cross to the back post, and that one curls out for a goal kick. Now Guilford really trying to speed things up here and show some urgency for British Virgin Islands.
Corey Williams out, and the number 10, Emmanuel Martin, in the 82nd minute.
Nelson takes the goal kick, ends up ricocheting off a teammate and back for Turks and Caicos. They try to pick out Billy Forbes. That was Martin who just came into the match trying to chip it through. But it's turned over. Now Martin commits the foul, so a free kick for British Virgin Islands, taken quickly by Shawwell and ends up giving it away as Junior Paul plays it over to Luisi. Under pressure, he works that over to the touchline where it's out for a BVI throw. British Virgin Islands really up against the clock now. It's the 83rd minute of action as their captain, Kavan Caesar, tries to play a long ball up the line for Tyler Forbes. He receives that pass, lays it over as Forbes opens up for the return option. Forbes does well to keep it in along the touchline, tries to draw back out front for Jake Forbes, and in the end cleared out for a throw-in. Smith. As Gallimore battles for it, and he does well to come up with possession. Smith back to Gallimore, but that one across the line and out for a throw. Turks and Caicos receiving instructions from their head coach Ricky Hill, who knows that his squad is in a incredible position here to pick up the 3 points at home, but they've got to remain focused and defensively sound here in the final 5+ minutes as Turbyfield will pick up the ball. Lacey, the man closing him and forcing him to make the action. Turbyfield, good strong drop kick. He's been crushing those all day. Headed back on the bounce and picked up by the keeper, Guilford. Guilford hits a good one. We haven't seen too many of those in the second half from him, but crossing into the opposition half only for Delva to play it up the line for Turks and Caicos. Abrams made a bit of a mishit, but recovered nicely and got the ball to Marshall. Long ball controlled here by Jake Forbes. Lays it over to Tyler Forbes, who tries to chip ahead for Lacey. Lacey does well to win the battle and take possession. Picks out Tyler Forbes into the penalty area. He's closed down nicely by Junior Paul. Chips trying to pick out the man at the far post, but Turbyfield read it perfectly, and the keeper there to make the save. Sebastian Turbyfield coming up with a clutch stop here after Tyler Forbes opened up an opportunity. Delva was there as well, trying to pick out the man at the far post. Didn't have enough to get there. Marshall, he's got his hands full with Martin on his back. Marshall knocks the ball up the line, and British Virgin Islands holding possession as a sloppy tackle on the back, and Luisi conceding the free kick. We've got a Turks and Caicos player down right now, so they'll retake the free kick here in the 86th minute. And we're going to get a substitution for the British Virgin Islands as I believe it's Shawwell. Actually, check that. It's Nelson coming out of the match. And Colwood comes in. So a defender removed for an attacker. And remember, Nelson came in the first half because of an injury to Wiltshire, so that's the end of his day, and now Colwood comes in to try and make an impact.
Substitution, ladies and gentlemen, for the British Virgin Islands, the number 22,
Referee urging the player in Junior Paul to give the 10 yards of space. Finally, we restart the action. A little bit of gamesmanship there. As now it's controlled by Smith. Touch ahead. Running onto it is Jake Forbes. He plays a ball through and, oh man, just courageous goalkeeping from Turbyfield as he sprints off his line and gets to it ahead of the foot of Lacey. Let's get another look. It was a good ball from Smith, and then here's the one from Forbes into the penalty area. You can see Lacey was close, but Turbyfield was there faster. Now Lacey picks it up, tries to chip back, finds a man. Oh, the hesitation by Colwood. He thought about squaring up for the shot, but then pulled up, maybe thinking a pass was a better option, and in the end, nothing doing. And now we get some heated discussions and physical encounters between Lacey in there for British Virgin Islands, the keeper Turbyfield in there for Turks and Caicos. Well, the yellow card is out of referee Henry's pocket. It's just a question of who's going to get it here. And it looks like it'll potentially be Colwood and Burry. There was that hesitation by Colwood. Probably could have hit it on the volley here after the bounce. Maybe didn't like the way the ball was falling, and in the end, nothing doing. Cautions issued to both Colwood and Burry as we're into the 89th minute. Well, they came in as a substantial underdog, but Turks and Caicos are on the brink of picking up their first win of the Concacaf Nations League group stage in League C Group C action. And this would give them an opportunity to potentially advance out of the group, certainly close the gap between Dominica, British Virgin Islands, and themselves. But they've still got to defend and close this out, as British Virgin Islands are going to be pressing everyone forward here. Chip trying to pick out a man on the flank, but Delva makes a tremendous defensive play before he has his legs taken out. And that's, I believe, Colwood, who just got cautioned. It is. So he's got to be very careful. If he has another tackle like that, that may be the end of his day. As we're going to get a substitution here, Carl Shan Jr. comes out of the match. And Rigel Aniston will come in. So a nice match today from Carl Shan Jr. III. He provided a threatening presence up front all match long. Caused havoc for that back line of the British Virgin Islands. And Carl Shan Jr. taken out for Rigel Aniston. We'll have a minimum of 7 minutes of added time to be played here, as Turks and Caicos leading 2-1 over British Virgin Islands. And you're watching CONCACAF Nations League action. It's League C, Group C action. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I'm your commentator for this match, and it's been a real treat of a match, a stunner of a game. And British Virgin Islands finding themselves down 2-1 late here, as that cross coming in from Billy Forbes, stopped by the keeper Guilford. And full credit to Turks and Caicos. Would have been very easy for them to just pack things up and concede the match after surrendering a goal in the 3rd minute. But they played a gutsy style, led by their courageous keeper, Sebastian Turbyfield. And on the strength of a brace by their captain, Billy Forbes, who scored his first one from the penalty spot and then the second one on a absolutely sublime free kick. With that brace, it's Turks and Caicos 2, British Virgin Islands 1. But here go British Virgin Islands. Nice overlapping run as Smith picks up the ball. Draws back for Jake Forbes plays that one, trying to return it to him, but it's broken up. Nice job by Junior Paul as he puts on the rocket boosters and starts to blaze up the field, and he's taken down, and that's going to be is it going to be a penalty kick? It's a caution for sure. Oh, and Junior Paul is in some significant pain now. It's got to be a penalty kick. He was inside the area. But the call by the official made it look like just a free kick while right on the edge of the box. You know what? I think that's the right call by the referee. Right on the edge of the penalty area. You can see where the dirt comes up. That's just outside the penalty area. So it'll be a free kick, not a penalty kick.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And Turks and Caicos, more concerningly worried about the health of their squad mate in Junior Paul, as they're going to bring the stretcher out for Paul. And we certainly hope it's nothing serious and he's able to recover. He's been a big player today for Turks and Caicos. A caution issued on that tackle to the British Virgin Islands captain, Kevon Caesar, who's going to look back on today and think, man, if I only finished off that volley in the first half, this could have been a totally different result. Let's get another look as Junior Paul blazing in. Yeah, I mean, that's the right call. It's literally right on the edge of the penalty area, but just outside. It's the momentum of the tackle that brings Junior Paul inside the penalty area. And you got to give credit to Caesar. If you're going to commit that foul, you got to do it outside the area. You can't concede a penalty kick and go down 3-1. So a potentially, I wouldn't want to say game-saving tackle considering they're trailing 2-1, but a savvy veteran play by Kevon Caesar to commit the foul where he did and not half a second later. And again, certainly wishing a speedy recovery there for Junior Paul, who's going to get some medical treatment on the touchline. Well, it's Raymond Burry standing over top the ball and just one Turks and Caicos player in and around the penalty area in the form of Billy Forbes. And you have to think that Burry's probably just going to try put it on target. Not the best angle, two-man wall defense. Let's see what they do. Now a couple more players come in. Short cross to the top of the 18. Forbes unable to control it. He goes down, wanted to call, nothing doing. And now a chance for British Virgin Islands to look for a quick counter. It's picked up by Tyler Forbes. Tries to turn on the defender. Tyler Forbes plays it ahead for Lacey. Stays onside, back in front, and they finish it off! British Virgin Islands have equalized in the 95th minute. Justin Smith gets the goal, the substitute coming on, and putting it in to draw even here in the 95th. Let's get another look at this. What a great turn by Tyler Forbes. He plays the ball ahead for Jahari Lacey, who goes to the back post, and with the wide open net, no chance there for Turbyfield. Clattered home by Justin Smith. And Smith wasn't going to miss from there. Turbyfield desperately trying to dive over. Nice little cartwheel plus the backflip. And you should celebrate. Well done, young man, as Justin Smith scores the goal in the 95th minute to draw even. Wow, what a swing of momentum in this match. What a crazy game this has been. This is the kind of drama you can only get with Concacaf Nations League action, as it's League C, Group C action. And Turks and Caicos thought they were minutes away from securing their first win in the group, closing the points gap. But with that goal, British Virgin Islands maybe have saved themselves from what would have been a bitter defeat and are in a position to potentially split the points here. Tough break for Turks and Caicos. Here go British Virgin Islands again. Pulled down. That's going to be a caution, as Tyler Forbes got wrestled down to the turf. I think it was Howell that got the yellow card. We'll wait for confirmation. Actually, we'll get a look on the replay, and it's Louisi who comes up making the foul. So Louisi goes into the book. And we've now played the 7 minutes of minimum added time to be played here. But certainly with all that's gone on in the last 3 or 4 minutes, you got to expect this game still has a little bit more left in it. And now British Virgin Islands, can they complete an improbable comeback? Let's see what they do from this free kick as they pile players into the attacking third. 6 players along the top of the penalty area as Caesar gets set to take the free kick. The ball chipped in, trying to flick on, nothing doing, volleyed away. And the final whistle sounds in a dramatic game that sees Turks and Caicos settle for a 2-2 draw against British Virgin Islands. This match could have gone either way. A brace from Billy Forbes, and then a goal in the 95th minute from Justin Smith to save the points for British Virgin Islands. And wow, what a contest that was. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to have some post-match highlights and final stats coming up in just a few moments. But what a phenomenal game that saw spectacular goals, bone-clattering tackles, chippiness, animosity, an abundance of cautions, and drama for both squads. And in the end, Turks and Caicos and British Virgin Islands have to settle for a single point apiece with a 2-2 draw. A lot of discussion still happening down pitch side as both teams probably feeling a little hard done by. I think British Virgin Islands probably sighing, breathing a breath of relief after escaping what would have been a difficult loss to swallow. You got to feel for Sebastian Turbyfield, the keeper for Turks and Caicos, who played spectacularly throughout that match. All right, well, let's get to it. The match highlights as we take you back to the opening kickoff. And we didn't have to wait long after the opening kickoff to get our first goal of the match, as here it is. It was set up by Marshall and finished off by Joshua Birdie. In the 3rd minute, British Virgin Islands took the 1-0 lead on that one-timer goal by Birdie, and then another chance, a great chance to go up 2-0 with Tyler Forbes breaking in all alone, but courageous keeping from Sebastian Turbyfield. But as I mentioned, you got to feel a little hard done by the way this ended. And there's the first opportunity for Turks and Caicos, the penalty kick that came as Junior Paul got taken down, and it was finished off by Billy Forbes. His first of 2 goals in the match. Forbes, the captain for Turks and Caicos, calmly putting it in from the penalty spot. More chances generated in that first half by British Virgin Islands, but a great goal line clearance there as Magny securing the scoreline that would see a 1-1 tie into the halftime break. Second half from the corner kick. That was the chance for Kevon Caesar. Actually, check that. That came at the end of the first half. Kevon Caesar feeling hard done by that. He couldn't bury that. And now second half kickoff where we see Turks and Caicos continuing to press. And they did well as Junior Paul had himself a nice game. And Billy Forbes, the man to take the majority of free kicks today for Turks and Caicos. That time he was stymied by the keeper Guilford. But on the next free kick attempt, it was pure perfection as he curled it into the top corner, giving Turks and Caicos the 2-1 lead. And he was more than happy to celebrate with the fans in the stands as Billy Forbes put the home squad up 2-1. But Tyler Forbes back the other way for British Virgin Islands. That time stopped, but here he sets up the play for Lacey, who goes to the back post. And in the 95th minute, Justin Smith equalizes to ensure that British Virgin Islands can flip their way up the standings a single point, securing the draw. And with the final whistle sounding, the final score in this game, Turks and Caicos 2, British Virgin Islands 2. Well, folks, on behalf of our great technical crew behind the scenes, my name's Nico Cardarelli. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's action. This has been a CONCACAF Nations League presentation presented by Qatar Airways. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.